ready to start?
Yep.
We'll call to order this meeting. Roll call.
Darren Search is absent.
Okay. The agenda, additions or changes?
I have a couple quick additions. That is going to be a couple of thank yous for a Jennifer Draper and a Jerry Higgins. So when we go to the thank yous for that, they'll be after that.
Okay. Approval of agenda, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. All those, been moved and second, all those in favor say aye. As opposed, motion passes. Public comment, minutes of the June 24th meeting.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Student organizations, fundraisers, Mr. Heidemann.
Hi, Dan.
No.
Just one.
Yeah, you want to talk about start school though? With that?
You start.
Say what?
The start of school?
Start of school's been doing well. Had some withdrawals, but we're still maintaining kids in the classes. Just trying to keep everybody where they're supposed to be going. So far, we're good. We're not having been too bad. So maybe 15 that kids have had to come talk to me to figure out where they were going. Other than that, it's been pretty ship shape.
Really has been wider than normal, it seems like, when
Yeah.
changes and all those kind of things.
And that, we're going to get to start school, but we can talk about that too, is our numbers are down this year overall for everybody. I don't have specific numbers for each of the school corporations, but right now I think we're sitting about 515. And so that's a lot lower than past year. And so 579 was where we were on count day last year. And so you can see that's a huge difference, which changes budget a little bit, but I did take that into account with my adjustments with CTE funding and things like that. And so on count day, we'll get that going. It's October 1. We won't really know finalized budget stuff until then, but numbers aren't down. And I would say, obviously, I know this is only my 4th year, and John's been here 11 years on his 12th. And so we only have 3 programs that are completely full. And in the past, maybe 4. In the past, it's not been that way. This is probably the first year we waited until day 3 to fill up first year of cost. Usually it's full before we even start. And so we ended up getting extra kids days 1, 2, and 3, and they jumped over there and filled the spots with us. And so it's kind of a weird thing. I know I've had a conversation with some superintendents too, is numbers are down across the board, it seems like, enrollment-wise, for everybody, which is going to cause our numbers to go down here, which is understandable. And so we're going to have to come up with some new ways in the future on what we can do to get those numbers up if we can with enrollment. But I know Mr. DuPont would always say, back in the day, if we got to 500, we were golden. And so we're above that. It's just not as high as it has been in the past.
I was looking at some of the solar records. 2019, there was only 474.
Yeah. So,
And then the goal used to be like at least 500.
yeah. So, good job, your ops right there.
There's no unfinished business. Miscellaneous.
We just talked about the start of school a little bit. John, you want to add anything to that?
Well, I will say, the cell phone thing, which is what I was really concerned with, has really gone well. The kids have done a good job. I really ask our staff, if you have any issues, send them to me immediately. I think I've made, and I always make a phone call to the parents on any time that happens. I think I've made 6 phone calls, and that's for AirPods, cell phones, whatever, but our staff has done a really good job. We've even commented how much louder it is to break, because we haven't let them use the break, which I thought I would open up the door and allow them to use it, and we haven't been pushed, so we're gonna try to keep it away from break too.
Usually they talk out there a little bit during the breaks, but they're on their phones.
Yeah.
So, but now they're not on their phones, so you got some kids who are sitting here like,
What was you?
and then you got others who are just really loud because they don't have them. So it's kind of been neat to see it, honestly, in the break time, how they react.
So we keep the phones or?
So we have,
I know you're
Yeah.
doing that.
yep, And so they're supposed to leave other schools. Not gonna happen, but
No.
they're gonna put them on. And so when they bring them here, they go to class, they have to put them in the caddy. And that's when they take attendance, they're in the caddy and so on. And that's how we do it. And so they stay there until the teacher says, hey, you can use it for this if you need to, which there shouldn't be a whole lot of those times, but it could be. We have two-factor authentication for some things, and so they kind of have to use their phone for that at times. But we're trying to avoid that as much as we can here at Heartland. But when our kids sign up for Manchester U or Ivy Tech or Vincennes, they have to have that and use that during that time.
Common sense.
Yeah, and so a couple of things, kids, during break, who's got cash? Nobody carries cash. I go pay with my phone.
Right.
And so we've had a couple of kids, and they asked me, I'm like, you need to talk to your instructor if they'll let you, to go get their phone and pay it and put it up. And the one instructor let him, and he went and paid, and then gave his phone right back to the teacher, and that was that. No fight, no nothing. So, it was good.
Are you finding that the students and parents understand the concept, why?
I don't think there's any issue that they all understand why, but, I've had it for so long, it's really hard to put it down. Because these kids listen to music. I really thought that AirPods, and it may get that way in the back, because that's what they are all used to. Walk around with one AirPod in their ear, and that's how they live. And I honestly, I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but it really, like I said, it has gone well so far.
Excellent.
One kid said, "Good growth yesterday."
Yeah.
His guy said, I only had one.
Yeah. But I walked down through auto service today and I said, hey, I need that. And Dad, when I called Dad, he said, I told him you shouldn't have this. They know.
But it's been a good start.
I had more argument at my own house with my seven.
I can imagine. I've had more argument with my wife.
Next on the negotiations for this year, as you know, we just did our public hearing. I actually was down in Indianapolis today at Herb to discuss, the format of the collective bargaining this year. And so we'll get started on that. We can't start formal negotiations until September 15th. And so at that point, we will have some negotiations, and I'll ask 2 of our board members to be a part of that. And I'll also ask the superintendent as well. And we'll do that whenever we can to make sure it happens. But we've had some informal negotiations as well. They know budgets are tight for everybody, and so it could be a little more difficult this year than it has in the past. So that's what the public hearing was talking about. Meet the teachers tonight. So after we get done with our board meeting tonight, we have meet the teacher night. And so we should have families in here, parents and guardians come in and kind of check in with the instructors, see what we offer. We always have somebody from outside the public come in that doesn't have a kid here, that kind of visit, kind of see what's offered. And so that'll be kind of it's always a neat thing to have those discussions with them. Because we're very proud of what we offer, and we think it's an exciting time, and these kids can get a lot out of it. So we want the community to come in.
New business, financial reports, Mr. Conrad.
All right, what I'd like to do is, we typically lump things together. I'd like to lump all the June stuff together for an approval in a second, and a vote, and then July separate as well. Starting out with June, the corporation, or the month ending June 30th. Heartland Career Center funds reconciliation and our financial system. Beginning balance June 1st, 2026, the balance was $1,994,868.54. During the month, we had receipts totaling $272,665.70, and we dispersed $203,887.15 for a month ending June 30th financial system balance of $2,063,647.09. We had we had 3 outstanding checks totaling $2,476.22. I'll move on to the ECA reconciliation. June 1st balance at Crossroad, I didn't do the depository reconciliation, my bad. On the corporation funds. June 1st, at Crossroads Bank, $2,001,444.64. Cleared deposits and credits, $272,665.70. Cleared checks and other debits, $207,987.03. For a month ending June 30th, balance at Crossroads Bank, $2,066,123.31. I'll move on to the ECA at this point. The beginning balance on June 1st at Crossroads Bank was $137,574.30. Deposits during the month of June totaling $2,050.05. Checks totaling $24,995.75. For a month ending June 30th, ECA balance at Crossroads, $114,628.60. As of month end, there was no outstanding checks. Moving on to the accounts payable docket ranging from June 18th to July 15th. We dispersed $129,309.84. One item of note, check number 13783 totaling $316.07 was actually voided. That was made out to Vicki Houlihan. I made a mistake and had a meal reimbursement that exceeded the $25 per diem. So I just voided that, and then it's actually on this month's, month ending July. We have two payrolls. June 18th, payroll was $63,224.99. On July 2nd, $64,665.34 for a total payroll for the month ending, for the month that we missed our meeting, $127,890.33. That takes us through the June financials.
Okay, is there a motion to accept June's report?
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start up with July's financials. The Heartland Career Center funds reconciliation for the corporation funds. Funds on hand, July 1st, 2026, $2,078,647.09. Receipts during the month of July, $272,665.70. Disbursements totaling $203,887.15. For a month ending July 31st, 2026, financial system account balance for corporation, $2,147,425.64. The depository reconciliation, total funds on hand at Crossroads Bank on July 1st, 2026, $2,066,123.31. Cleared deposits and credits in the amount of $246,695.47. Cleared checks and other debits, $270,086.23. For a July 31st depository balance at Crossroads Bank, balancing to $2,042,732.55. At month end, July, there were 14 outstanding checks totaling $15,773.70. Moving on to ECA for the month of July. The beginning balance at Crossroads Bank on July 1st was $114,628.60. Deposits in the amount of $13,366.92. We had no disbursements. That brings us to a month ending July 31st account balance for ECA at Crossroads in the amount of $127,995.52. As of month end, we had 0 outstanding checks. I'm just doing things out of order, guys. I'm sorry. It's because I got too many columns here. If I could flip back to the corporation side of things for the payroll and the accounts payable docket. The accounts payable docket ranged from July 16th through today, August 19th. The total dispersed funds was $190,300.67. Some items of note, bear in mind that we have 3 payroll cycles during this period of time. And then if we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 5 transactions that I kind of start. Check number 13813 dated today in the amount of $1,417. That was for admin supplies. It's a pallet of paper. It's just kind of a non-standard vendor and amount, so I just wanted to include that. Check number 13821, payable today to Gaunton Son. That was for the parking lot seal that we did this summer. The total on that was $17,780.
And that was paid with CPF money we built up for maintenance already, so that was like excellent.
The next check, check number 13831 is to Logic Key dated today. That is for our student management system, Harmony, that we use for the 26-27 student management software. That was $4,125. Another item, check number 13836 to Purity Cylinder for $14,000. That was out of CPF monies for the welding program. That was CPF money for a bandsaw.
The bandsaw broke down, and we'd actually worked with Andy Tyler, who was a former graduate of us that works there. He gave us a deal on a new bandsaw for welding.
And then the last item is check number 13838 to Scenario Learning. This was regarding a software subscription for Pathways. You can probably speak more to that.
So this is Vector Solutions. They are going to, they have started a software, I shouldn't say started, they've been doing it for a while, but it's for our work-based learning. It's going to track all of our work-based learning here at Heartland, and then after this year, we're going to work with the schools and get all of them on it as well, because this is data we have to track for the state. And so we're going to have every school that we work with, all 5 corporations, will have access to this, and all of their kids will be able to get on here, and we'll track all of their work-based learning hours, training plans, and it'll all be in one location. And so that's the reason we went that direction. It's a big price tag, but in the end, the data that we're going to get is going to be better than what we have now.
So all the schools, we funnel everything,
Yep.
so you have concept.
Correct.
Well, and it'll all have to be tracked from the freshman year on too.
Yes.
That's the other thing. So when they come here, it's for the seals, all for the seals for the phones.
Will the individual schools have to pay this as well, or it's just, okay?
That was one of the big things. We talked to multiple vendors about how to use this. We told them exactly what we wanted. Honestly, there was another company we were probably going to go with, but then in the last conversation, they kind of changed their mind on us and said, oh, we're going to have to charge you for each of the schools. And I said, nope, not doing that. And so we went this route, and they have, I will say, in the month of July, they did not communicate real well with us, and so I was getting pretty frustrated. So we actually held this check off because it could have went out last month. And I said, nope, we're not paying it until we get some answers. And they finally started talking with us, and we're getting everything set up and ready to go. Amy Schmidt, our technical person, ran the hackathon, and they're working really hard on this. And so they will have this up and running pretty quickly for our students to use. And we'll go through this year and kind of be a test run for us, and then we can add it on the following year for all the schools. The price will not change for that.
Is it an annual price?
It is.
And that annual price for this year is $13,325. So anecdotally, what Mr. McWhorter was just talking about, how they were, was quite literally, you were standing outside my office door at probably 45 minutes ago. That phone call that I took was them saying, you have an overdue bill. And I said, we're releasing it tonight. It'll be in the mail tomorrow.
They emailed me, and I sent an email back, and said it'll be sent out this month. So, not too worried about it.
And then that leaves the 3 payroll cycles that would have, that fall from when the previous, the July meeting should have been through today, through today. The payroll on July 17th was, the total was $56,179.77. The payroll cycle for 7/31 was $56,179.67. Then the payroll cycle last Friday, 8/14, was $56,295.10 for a total claims for this period, $168,654.54. So that's what I had for July, and then just bear in mind, we've got basically twice the paperwork over here, so.
Is there a motion to accept that report?
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Donations.
We have multiple letters, I think 6 letters here. First, the letter went out to the Wabash County Fair Board, or Fair Directors, thanking them for the annual use of the fairgrounds parking lot for the backing range for the CDL for both the adults and our students. So I always try to give them, so they know. In this case, I sent that we had 12 high school students get their CDLs and 3 adults, and I think the last time we only had 2 adults. I think the third one did not pass the last time they were so. But right now, we're still 100% with our students doing that. Another one is a friend of Mr. Johnson, our collision instructor. He had a massive assortment of tools that he brought over here. A lady's husband passed away that he goes to church with by the name of Lori Rusi in Peru, and she donated a lot of tools that went to a lot of our instructors. A new upright air compressor, which we're going to be able to put outside with our construction students. So lots of different things were donated to us. So it was a nice gift for school for that. Zero Biomet donated 10 computers. Jason Schlatter, our machining instructor, had expressed the need for some computers that would run software that he could use CAD with. And so that's what they donated. They donated 10 computers that have higher RAM in them and be able to process faster. So he's got those 10 computers in the machining area. We got a check last week from the Rowan Community Heritage Organization, which was a donation for our students did facade fronts. They had pictures of their buildings and they provided facades, and the students could do different designs on the facades, and they provided those back. So that organization gave us a $200 check in return for that. So that was sort of nice. Brian Hall, one of our former students, actually in Mr. Evans's class last year, and previously to that, he was in welding, and he's a CDL student, but he's also employed at IMI. There was quite a large signing, a lot of leadership from IMI. I came into signing with him. At the end of the summer, he ran into Brian. Brian called me and said, "Hey, Brian Hall wants to get a hold of you." So I called him, and he made a $500 donation. So this is a young man that just graduated in the spring, Southwood grad. He contacted Mr. Evans and through us and gave $500 back to the welding program. So awesome. That was really a nice gift.
To the welding program?
Yep, to the welding program. And Brian is doing very well with IMI. He will, I think, be a career employee for IMI up there. The last one is my parents. I was home. This is my parents, Jerry and Marcia Higgins. They had some supplies. My brother used to sell a lot of industrial supplies, and he passed away in a farm accident years ago. And so I brought some of that stuff back, but it's a lot of stuff that Mr. Johnson can use in our collision program, so he donated that in their name, and that's what that letter is for.
Building trades.
So we have actually 2 houses to approve this year. The one is for Mr. Hoover's construction class. This is usually done in July, but we always didn't have it in July. And so Jim and Amanda Davis are the new homeowners. that we are going to work with. The location is, I think it's 1059 Tipton Street, Monroe. So we're going to be building down there, Mr. Hoover's class. It's going to be an interesting build. I think they're a great family. His brother is our health science instructor, John Davis, and so they're going to be good to work with. It's just going to be a tight spot for our class down there. It's down a hill. It's kind of like a one lane to get down to. It's kind of a weird spot, but we got to figure it out, and I think we're going to be okay. But I will need your guys' approval for that. They will be out there. They are paying a fee to do that, which is our normal standard calculation, and they've already actually put the first half down already. They'll pay the other half in January. And so $13,767 split in half. So I'll need that approval for Jim Van Davis so we can approve the building contract.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
The other one is our ABC construction program. We started last year's half day is full day now. And we've been working with the city on infill lots. And we sat down with Mayor Long and his team last year trying to figure this out. We got it done, and we are going to build, I think it's 375 Ohio Street, which is near the old hospital in town. And there's a little lot there. We're going to build a 1,450 square foot home, single floor. Roughly, I think it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, no garage. And our ABC construction kids are going to go through that. And the way it's working, it's kind of a community project, really, because the mayor's worked with Builders Mart, and he's also worked with a gentleman that does the foundation. And the gentleman's going to put the foundation in, and Builders Mart's going to supply the materials at no cost until it's sold. And when it's sold, they'll get reimbursed for those materials and their work for the foundation. And then we'll go in and we'll do our thing and build a house. With the ABC class, it's a little different than our construction class because they will do plumbing, they will do electrical, they'll do the HVAC, they'll do all of that. If the house does not get completed, the city understands that that's okay, we'll pick it back up in August. Or they could hire someone with some kids to work on it throughout the summer and do that.
What is the address again?
I believe it's 375 Ohio Street. Let me,
375 Ohio?
yes,
Short little street.
it's really tiny. It's the only bare lot there. I mean,
It's not on the old hospital
it
site.
is not. That site is not usable at this time. And it's
The city
under,
doesn't own it.
it's under legal, it's under litigation.
Really?
So,
Well,
yeah, I don't have it right there. I do have it in my email, but I will make sure I have it correct.
why no garage?
The lot's really small. They could put a garage on it, but I'm not really sure why they chose not to this time. So,
I think most houses in that area are on-street parking, aren't they?
yeah, 375 High Street. Yes.
Most of them are on-street, so it's just.
So at one point they were gonna do a garage, but they chose not to. So I have the house plans, if you wanna see them, I have them in my office. Come by and see them tonight, and I'll show them to you. It's a pretty nice little small house. They're doing it to obviously build housing in the area, because it's only one. But two, it's also gonna be a lower cost, and so it's gonna be a starter home for somebody that they can afford it. So I think it could be a good project.
It'd be nice to have the kids do the electrical and touch other things.
And, you know, like when Mr. Roots class, they do the electrical at the homework, but we won't do the HVAC, we don't do the plumbing. Or certain roof pitches we don't do, things like that, and so they're gonna get the full aspect of that here. And I think this is approximately a pretty good way to go, so the kids can get the full spectrum of it and do all of that. Yes, there could be more problems, you never know, I mean, kids do
There are
all
always
those
problems.
you can have those. But I know I've talked to the Mayor Sturge over in Peru, and I think this is something we could probably alternate from year to year from Wabash to Peru and back and forth. So,
Seems like really good partnership, so I hope it does do very well.
we'll see. I'm
It
excited.
still has to be inspected though. the inspector comes out.
We have
so-
the building commissioners working with us to do it,
Sure.
so we'll be good.
Nothing wrong with that.
Personnel.
So a while back, we were in,
Should we take an approval on the second home?
Oh,
we can't, I don't have a contract, 'cause it's not done yet.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we can take an approval, because it's a go. If you guys turn me down now, we might be in trouble.
you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Personnel, so we were in need of a custodian after Denny Carmichael retired last year. We kind of let the summer go because we felt like we could probably get by without one for a little while. But we do need someone here in the evenings because we have cosmetology students here until 5:30, we have administrators here until 5:30. And so to get everything done, it's just impossible to do it throughout the day. So we looked, I put out for a part-time custodian. They will work from, I believe, 2:30 to 8:30 with a half-hour lunch. And we had multiple interviews. Some were okay and some were whatever, and we were waiting on information. And then this gentleman applied, and when he applied, it was like, okay, let's see what it is. And he was ecstatic, he was really good through the interview. He's actually been a custodian before, very short-lived, but he's a fabricator by trade, a welder. And so he comes in, and he started, and his name's Andy Lamonte, which is what I had sent out in a text a while back to ask you guys to start early. So he started, I think it was the 10th, okay? And he's doing phenomenal. He is a cleaner, and we needed a cleaner. He's probably cleaning things that haven't been really cleaned very well in a long time. And he's doing a pretty good job at it. If you go into our bathrooms, that's always been one thing for me, is like the bathrooms have to be clean, because somebody goes in there and it's dirty, it looks bad on us. And he's got the chrome on the urinals and the toilets shining, so he's done a really good job. So I asked you to approve him, Andy, as a part-time custodian.
For the recommendation, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Next meeting, Wednesday, September 16th.
Yep, 6 p.m. Says public hearing, but we won't need to do that, we did that today. So I'm going to move it up.
I also wanted to mention, we did get concrete poured in the.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Construction building out there, so that's been done. That's a nice addition in that ABC area. So we had complete concrete solutions out rolling and did that. Travis Dyson is one of the for us.
We called multiple people for
Yeah.
quotes.
Yeah, I couldn't get anybody.
Literally only one.
Return phone call.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a person that was going to meet me twice.
Yeah.
Never showed up. And honestly, another company, I won't say their name, but they actually said, we can't do it, I need you to find somebody else. So,
I know some of those guys are busy.
they are, yep.
Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
You got a little bit of time, we'd love to have you mill around and see our programs, see the teachers, those kind of things. Thank you very much.
JL, you need to sign this contract too. Yeah, don't forget to sign all documents, 2 months. So, yes, please turn it out. Even though I don't think it's working correctly, because I don't see a picture on there.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Thank you.